What's going on, everyone? So today on Puddin's Fab Shop, we're gonna finish smoothing out our frame. We got a little bit of fabrication to do, just a small thing real quick. And we need to clean the frame rails up all the way, or we can put some paint on this thing finally. So let's get started. So what we're doing is, from boxing the frame last time, this top is all welded up now, but I need to smooth it out like I did the bottom. And I'm not really going to show that because I did it in the last video. So you can be sure to check out the boxing video if you want to see how I box this frame. We need to clean up all the surface rust, all the dirt, because actually a lot of this is just dirt on this frame. You can wipe it off. But full clean it up where we can put some paint on it, and then the little bit of fabrication we got to do. The last trans cross member I built sat inside the frame rail before I decided I was going to box this, so obviously we need to do something about that. What I'm planning on doing today is just getting a couple tabs welded on with a sleeve in there that we can build the cross member off in the future. That way we can get all of our painting done today. So that whole process didn't take very long, and I know you may be thinking, why did I make you watch that whole time lapse? I try to speed it up as fast as possible, but there was a reason, and that's because you may see me step out of the shop or drink some water or talk to Bill, but that whole time I did not change out the flapper. And what I like to use are these Benchmark Abrasive 80 grit. There. These things are durable. They're aggressive, they're mean, they hold up, and that's a lot of grinding. I measured it, it's about half a mile all the way around there, and those things do a good job. This is not a paid promotion. They don't even know I'm making it, but I like to buy them in bulk. I buy 50 at a time, and it's right at a little over $100, which basically comes out to $2 a piece. I think that's cheaper. You can even get the junky ones from Harbor Freight, and these things are definitely more durable. Even Bill just said he never seen anyone quite attack the weld like that and see these things hold up. So go check those out. If you want to get a good deal on them and have a badass flapper that holds up, tell them Puddin's Fab Shop sent you. Maybe we can get a promotion code going or something. So now I got to figure out what I want to do next, and I think I'm going to swap the wire wheel onto the grinder and wire wheel this frame. Like I said, a lot of the stuff on it is dirt, so let's knock off all the obvious stuff and then go from there. So I didn't figure y'all wanted to watch me wire wheel the whole frame, so that's what I did, inside and out. I haven't done the front end yet, and I really don't plan on getting it much cleaner than this. I'm working Scotch-Brite and my wire brushing in any of the areas I could not get the wire wheel at on the grinder, but I'll end up wiping this down with something. I don't know yet. I'm gonna wipe it down and get the dust off. But for now, the hardest part of all of this is gonna be cleaning up this front frame, just because of all the nooks and crannies of it. My hands are getting tired. I've been grinding with that damn thing all day. We're getting closer though. Gotta replace this old girl transmission cross member for the third time. You know what they say, third time's a charm. I got underneath the frame where the holes were for that old cross member, I marked center, which was this line here. You can also see over here, this one. Then, because this hole's offset back from the middle, it's 3/8 of an inch. Well, I marked back 3/8 of an inch on each side. And what we're gonna use for the new cross member, I already had these tabs. I've actually had them in there for a couple of years. This is a metal sleeve I had from some old casters, and I basically want to set that there, and instead of the new cross member being from the bottom and kicking up, that kicks up so much it's getting close to the top of the frame. So I just want to make these tabs flush with the top of this frame. And for the cross member itself, we're not going to build that today, but when I go across there, I'll just use 1.5 inch square tubing that we can drill a hole in. We'll just drop that sleeve in there and weld it up, and it'll be easy to remove it like that. If we need to drop down a hair, we can, but then that way we ain't kicking up that high, if that makes sense. So I already marked this out. I have me some lines there you can see to be able to line this up, and I'm gonna tack that up and weld it. It's the next day now. I couldn't get everything done yesterday. I just had stuff I had to do. I cleaned up most of this front end, but there is some oil and stuff on it from being up around the motor, power steering, everything. So right now I'm soaking it with some oven cleaner. I've never used oven cleaner, I don't think, on a frame. I've used it on motors with good success, but I'm gonna let this stuff soak a little bit, then I'm gonna spray it down, and we'll end up wiping down this frame and painting it. So once I get let this set a little bit, I got some brake cleaner I think I'm gonna spray it down with, and then I have ammonia to wipe down the rest of the frame. This is some straight wing in it with what you got from the dollar store right here. 100%. So like I said, this is not perfect. I can't get to everything, but pretty happy with that. So I never clean underneath here, but the front of this frame was way dirtier than that Silverado frame was, being from that 84 Caprice. And I cleaned it up pretty well the same way. And that's just Duplicolor engine enamel on this chassis. And it's held up great. And the same back here, all rattle can. It's dirty, but it's still durable. I can wash it and it cleans up good. So I think we'll be all right. And I know I've told you guys I like using the Van Sickle paint. Well, the problem is they're totally out of it. I don't know if they can't get it because all this coronavirus BS, but they don't have it. I do have white in the color that I did inside the frame, and I thought about spraying this and that and letting it set up and then just top coating it with something. But I was doing some reading, and I think I'm going to try this Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer. And you can top coat it quickly with Rust-Oleum. So for this one, I've never used this Rust-Oleum on frame before. I know I've painted stuff with Rust-Oleum, just nothing this big, I guess. So we're gonna try this out. So my camera died, but that stuff sprays very well. Good coverage. Each can went far, had a lot in it. So as long as it holds up good, so far I'm impressed with it as far as how it sprays. Next, I'm gonna put the black top coat on it.
Like, let them on their base.
So a few days later now, this thing's been sitting in the shop and the paint looks pretty good. You can't see as many imperfections as I can see, but it's dry to touch. But I can still push my thumbnail into that, no problem. So I'm not very impressed. I figured this would be set up better by now. The other day, I ended with cleaning up coil springs, sway bar, bushing mounts, some little motor towers or whatever you want to call those, and the sway bar. And today I'm working on the rear end. I need to put seals in each side, and I need to, well, I don't need to. I've decided I'm gonna drill and tap this and add a grease zerk, and I'm not sure the best place to do that. I'm just winging it, but basically I need to get this rear end cleaned up and the 4-link bars painted and these spindles cleaned up. So I don't really know what all I'm doing in this video. At this point, I'm kind of just winging it.
Waiting on Craig now.
Transport.
What the
Who put the exhaust on it?
performance muffler? I put some more transmission fluid in it, and it doesn't take quite 8,000 RPMs to start moving.
Using?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all of
So the pinion seal on this thing was obviously leaking. I hate doing pinion seals like this because all I'm basically doing is marking and counting threads. But I have this bar I built whenever I rebuilt the rear end of my 64, which was the same pattern, which was great. That socket's a 30 mil, which I had from doing, I believe, CV axles on the Toyota. It's the wrong size, but it worked. So now, gotta see if I get this pinion seal out of here, or I can get a new one ordered, see if we can find the one we actually need. What are you doing, baby?
What's up, guys? Here's the sugar blast.
Hey, watch the spindles. So if you've done this before, you know cleaning up stuff and painting stuff is very time consuming. Well, with that being said, I'm about as lost as 8-day clock on making a video because I'm just all over the place just trying to get stuff done because I do work full time. So though this probably could have been 3 different videos, I'm just cramming everything. Because how much y'all want to watch me tear stuff apart and paint it or whatever? So, 4-link bars are painted. Rear calipers are painted. Rear end's good, other than the pinion seal. It won't be here till Monday. So, everything else on it's good to go. Oh, that's not true. I need to put the gasket cover on the rear. The gasket on the rear diff cover. Spindles are painted. So the paint on these are still setting up, dry and good. So I think I'm gonna start assembling stuff. Why not? Building it to show. Who knows how many days later now? I don't even know the last time I recorded. Our goofy pinion seal here came in. Took a few days to get that. And we're gonna install it. The only thing I have that can kind of fit around that is a piece of exhaust pipe. So I'm gonna clean off these, clean off this pipe, put something, whichever one will fit in here to smack it with. And on this pinion seal, it looked to me like the old one was leaking around here where it actually slides into the rear end housing. And this new one had this little sticky stuff around there. It was clear, it pulled right off. So I scraped all that off, cleaned it with some brake clean, and I'm actually gonna put a little bead of RTV around there and get this smacked in there. All right. Perfecto.
Got it? Yeah.
Just to think, I almost threw this thing out a couple years ago. So pressure washed that yesterday. I just like to soak it with an oven degreaser and then pressure wash it. And then today, well actually yesterday, I sprayed this one with the low gloss Duplicolor engine enamel just because it's what I had. The motor, I'm doing it in the semi-gloss. I like it better. Getting a couple coats on this thing. I am painting the heads. I taped off where the ports would be up there. And obviously our valve train up there. I don't know why I just drew a blank. But I'm just layering this stuff on. This stuff works pretty good. I've had great luck with it. On my 64, it lasted for years. It's the same stuff I painted the engine of the truck with. It's pretty durable. So finished getting this thing coated.
Looks like a Valentine's Day gift.
Valentine's Day gift.
Yeah, but it's not Valentine's Day.
So this will be our temporary cross member for now, because I don't want to build the new one until the body's on.
that up there, that is now going to
Now we're gonna lower it.
lower it
Where?
right next to it.
Lower it into place.
So there it is. There's the line. So we've been doing good on that, kind of.
And just kind of.
So we got that ready for auction. Hi guys. Yo, it's a Barbie doll. Not really. It's a dirty Barbie doll. Why do you? It's me. It's a Barbie doll. Who is this dude? Who is this? What was that? Oh! Is the car started?
Motor set down in here. And as you can tell, I like rattle can. I really don't give a crap for something like this. That's a cruiser. I know I'm gonna drive the wheels off of it, put the motor mounts in there, torque those down, and hit them with a little spray of rattle can too. It all just blends. You can also tell I like black just for something like this, an everyday driver. I did tape off a few things. Not a lot though, to be honest. Well, that's it for this video. I know this thing was all over the place and I apologize for that, but that's part of doing it by yourself, on a budget, in a shop. It would be nice to be able to send everything out, have it blasted, returned and paint or powder coat, something like that. But I already blew that budget because I never planned on building all the suspension on the rear. It was just supposed to get leaf springs. Even if I saved all the money I spent back there, I'm still a cheap person where I wouldn't spend the money for that. For day-to-day driving, something you're not planning on showing, rattle can or paint, seems to hold up good. I've had good luck with it. The video, I wish it would have laid out better, but with doing this stuff, it's like I'd be cleaning this, but I could paint that, so I'd start working on this, and you just get going everywhere. And it's really a lot of work to do, so it made it really hard to video, and I got frustrated, so I quit videoing some here or there. But you've seen me build most of this stuff, so all I was doing at this point was cleaning it up and painting it. So let's talk about the paint. Duplicolor's awesome stuff. I've used it on several things, and I've never had trouble out of it. The Rust-Oleum, I'm not impressed with. I don't know if it's something I did, but it just don't seem very durable. The week or two it's been on the frame and here in the shop, I've dropped a couple things on it. It's chipped already. Obviously I'm not going to redo it, but I would say avoid that paint if you can. So hopefully you still somewhat enjoyed the video. In the next video we'll be cleaning up the Travelall body, doing a very similar thing. We're going to paint and clean rust and coat it. I do have the lizard skin stuff to coat it, so be sure to come back for that. Hopefully I'll do a better job. Maybe try to break it into a couple different videos. And if you're new, please check out some of the videos where we actually build all this. If you always come back, thank you guys. If you're on Instagram, I'm on there at Puddin's Fab Shop if y'all want to give me a follow. If you want to help me out, all you got to do is drop a comment down below, like or share the video. All those things help us grow, so I always appreciate it when you do that. And I'll see you guys next time. But don't forget, sitting on your ass won't finish your project. I'll see you guys in the next video.